In our news bulletin for this evening, the International Public Health Emergency calls on countries to address the recent outbreak of the Zika virus. Members of the Niue Assembly passed a motion to look at some television programs. Hakupu Sea Track was damaged following an onslaught of 3 cyclones this season. A cuisine fiesta has been organized as part of Waitangi celebrations on the island for this year. A public health emergency has been declared by the World Health Organization to address the recent outbreak of the Zika virus. Following the declaration, all countries are expected to follow preventative measures to reduce infection with the Zika virus, especially amongst pregnant women and women of childbearing age. The Zika virus is spread by mosquitoes, the same as dengue fever and chikungunya. The Niue Health Department has issued a public awareness campaign to re-emphasize the need to destroy all mosquito breeding places and to keep homes and surroundings clean and free of rubbish. Tonga has declared a Zika epidemic after confirming 2 people have contracted the mosquito-borne virus, and there are about 265 suspected cases. Tonga's health minister also said that there were 3 New Zealand-based Tongans who had returned to the islands for a holiday, who had returned home and also tested positive. In New Zealand last week, 5 cases were reported, and that brings the total number of people treated for the disease this year to 11. Routine border inspections at the Auckland International Airport have picked up 3 mosquitoes of the type that carry the Zika virus on 3 occasions in the past 12 months. The Aedes aegypti mosquito carries the virus that has been linked to microcephaly, a severe birth defect. This mosquito is found here on the island, and the Health Department is increasing its awareness campaigns with the distribution of information and fact sheets about Zika, as well as improved surveillance for Zika virus infection. Public Health will be starting the first round of nationwide spraying next week, starting on Monday from the Niue Fall Hospital, moving north, but a spraying schedule will be announced over the radio. The appeal to the community is to help get rid of the breeding places of mosquitoes to minimize risks of the potential spread of the Zika virus. Television programming has been mentioned as an area that needs improvement, and members of the Niue Assembly have passed a motion to have more health and environmental clips on television. Television and radio have been the primary responsibility of the Broadcasting Corporation of Niue since 1989. According to the BCN General Manager Trevor Sekia, the corporation has a social obligation to keep the public informed on issues concerning them. However, it also has an obligation as a state-owned enterprise to generate revenue by selling airtime. We spoke with a Commonwealth member who put forward the motion to find out what his concerns were.
First of all, I must bring up that I haven't paid my TV license, and I don't think many in the Assembly have either. So it's a common problem, and there's a lot of people who haven't paid. And it's like it's saying, oh, we shouldn't speak up. But my reason for bringing up in the House is that the programming is so poor that we shouldn't be paying for it. And the repeat of the program, sometimes 3 times in 1 week, the same program has come on. And so the members agree in the House, and we'd like to see some changes. And when the new system comes on, we hope that that's not repeated again. You know, the same one put on Friday and then put on Saturday and then put on Monday. It's just not on. I'd like to see more health programs coming on and more educational ones and the environment ones. I went from here last night around to the high school. The roads just all rubbish all along the road, and no one's picking it up. And where's our pride in this place? We're supposed to have a nice, beautiful island, and we're not doing anything. So we need to remind people on TV about the stop smoking for the younger ones and the drink drive, etc. So I see there's quite an opportunity there for those type of the education, the health and the environment programs.
Mr. Coe says that some issues like littering and non-communicable diseases and other health issues need to be raised to remind people about taking pride in their community and responsibility for their health. He had some suggestions to put forward.
I believe we should be putting, if they put the price of cigarettes up, and the money does go into health-generating programs on the TV, I believe that could be a good thing. And if we can promote these things and start to get good awareness with the people, very similar to what Singapore has done. And now no one litters, no one drops any cigarette butts or anything, otherwise they're fined on the spot. But the thing is, they've got a lot of pride that their place is clean and tidy, and we should have the same pride in this island. Well, I think we've all got to get up another level, and we start doing a bit. When I first went around and picked up the rubbish, I thought, this is I'm just doing it for picking it up. But then I felt I've got a bit of pride. I felt good about it, and now every morning that I go, I take a bag.
General Manager for BCN, Trevor Sekia, says that the issue regarding more environment and health clips or communication and awareness component, donor funds are normally incorporated into donor projects that should be used by those departments for airtime and production costs, but in some instances they have not been used. BCN will be rebranding and upgrading its system within the next few months that will enable them to implement a user pay system that will give the corporation control over television delivery and generate the necessary funds to improve programming. The 3 cyclones that passed through Niue this cyclone season started in November has left behind a trail of destruction on the Tuhiā Sea Track in the village of Hakupu, leaving the rugged cliff top exposed and also killing vegetation. According to the chairperson of the Hakupu Village Council, Mrs. Itzi Tukuitonga, most of the damage to the sea track was done by Cyclone Tuni towards the end of last year, and the 2 cyclones that followed added more damage to the cliff top and concrete steps at the bottom of the sea track. The village council had planned to renovate the whole sea track for some time now, but other commitments got in the way of their plans. The unexpected arrival of the cyclones has prompted them to get the project up and going within the next 3 years. Firstly, they'll be looking to outside donors to assist or to ask the Hakupu community to contribute to costs. There are plans to have electricity and water at the top landing of the sea track. Mrs. Itzi Tukitonga says that the conditions at the sea are not always calm for local canoe fishermen, but they need to repair the damage to the whole track in order for the community to use. Niue Meteorological Office personnel have also visited the site to assess the damage. Cyclone Victor may have been the last to visit Niue for now, but the damage was already done by the 2 earliest cyclones at the end of last year. The New Zealand High Commission Office is taking a different approach this year to celebrating Waitangi Day by organising a cuisine fiesta competition using New Zealand and Niue produce. Waitangi Day is marked on the 6th of February each year in recognition of the treaty signed more than 100 years ago that has helped shape New Zealand into the society and country it is today. According to New Zealand High Commissioner Ross Arden, this year they have opted to try something different that highlights the relationship shared between New Zealand and Niue, creating delicious cuisine using local and Kiwi products.
To think about the connection between Niue and New Zealand, and there are many, many ways that we can do that. We can do that through cultural shows, that we can do that through drama, through speeches. We thought that perhaps we would try something different and do it through a fusion of Niue and New Zealand foods, and just get people thinking about that connection that's so important between our 2 countries. We're quite pleased with the interest at this point. The entries have closed. I understand from our staff here that we have 22 entries in the food category. It'll be interesting to see what little twist of difference has been made between the fusion of Niuean food, which is so glorious, and the New Zealand food. I'm looking forward to it with interest, and it's, I'm sure, going to be a tough job for the judges. I'm glad I'm not one of them.
In addition to this program, fun activities and sports have been organised to celebrate Waitangi Day the Kiwi way, with a backyard barbecue enjoyed with great family fun.
Well, the main event, of course, is the food competition, the fusion of the foods between Niue and New Zealand. But apart from that, there's going to be all sorts of games for the children to participate in. On top of that, there is going to be some festival-type food that we're going to put out, not a whole lot. We're going to have a good old Kiwi barbecue as well up there, a sausage sizzle. You can't beat that from a Kiwi backyard point of view, and that's what it is more than anything. Invite people up to our backyard and have a few games and have a few laughs and look and see how we judge the food competition. This food fiesta is embryonic. It's a small idea. We hope that if it actually gains traction, that we might be able to make it into something a little bit bigger next year. But it's really just sort of trying it out, see if it would work, trying something different. Otherwise, we don't have change. We keep on doing, reverting back to the same old things, and perhaps after a little period of time, we all do look for change.
The Waitangi Day Cuisine Fiesta competition will be held this weekend, and that will see a fusion of Niuean and Kiwi flavour that has been opened up to the public, also divided into 3 categories. The one-day event will be held at the High Commission compound on Saturday, starting at 11. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin next week.